Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. And today we have the second to last bottle to taste here on my cask. We leave out the Talisker Distillers Edition because I tasted it already here. And please have a look at the Talisker playlist on Whisky.com. Here we have all the whiskies so far tasted from Talisker, as well as in the whiskey database, where we also have lots of pictures to the Talisker Distillery provided for you. So you can add a lot of information to what I'm saying here and to the informations on the bottles to your knowledge. Today we have the Talisker Port, whatever. How do you pronounce this? Port Ruighe? No, it's called Port Ruighe. And this is an old Gaelic word and means king. It was the port of the kings. And it's the capital of the Isle of Skye, where the Talisker Distillery resides. I visited the port of Port Ruighe by Zodiac. I went there with a cruise ship in 2004, where I visited the Orkneys, the Shetlands, Talisker, the Outer Hebridean Islands, and so on. It was the fastest way to get to all those remote distilleries. Today, the Isle of Skye is connected with the mainland with a bridge, so there's no longer the ferry at Port of Loch Calch to cross the Sound. And I think the bridge is paid. You do not no longer have to pay toll. Why is it called Port Ruighe? And well, this is this double name port because this whiskey is also finished, so has a second maturation period in port wine casks. And this whiskey is an homage on the old tradesmen in the empire who sailed with their ships to Portugal to bring the port wine back to the United Kingdom. Finished in pot cask here in red, big in red. From the earliest times back in the 19th century, Talisker has been matured in pot casks. Well, they were there, and America was far, far away. They had to use European casks, and because everybody was drinking port and sherry, the casks were there. Everybody, the ones with money. The others went on poiteen, moonshine called in the US. The merchants of coastal Scotland had long been trading with the Portuguese, and those merchants were instrumental in founding the port wine trade and shipping it to the world. Yes, the empire. Talisker has always taken inspiration in what the sea brings. We now take pride in celebrating those Scottish traders with the first release of a Talisker double matured in ruby port cask, so red wine. Port wine from red wine. Talisker Port Ruighe, named after the main trading port on Skye, combines Talisker's powerful maritime character with succulent sweet notes of rich berry fruits for a superb contrasting taste experience. There's a lot written on those boxes. Take your time for all the words and be careful. Lots of it is marketing blur. Here we go. There's no smaller bottle of this, so I have to open this one. Lost. Well, there is a second seal below the metal cap. And this helps to protect you as the customer from refilled bottles. Sometimes I have to tell you about fakes. Yes, I have. So the color is much deeper, much darker. Ruby port. So this whiskey, this Port Ruighe, carries also no age statement on it, so it might be young as well. It's double matured. That means 1.5 years in ex-bourbon and 1.5 years in ex-port wine. No, I think they will stay to at least 5 to 7 years to get rid of the youthness of the whiskey. But I would be happy if they would add an age statement on it, as it was on the first Talisker I remember on the market from the Ascot Malt Cellar collection. It was 8 years old, and this was the predecessor to the classic malts of Scotland. And this 8-year-old Talisker was so welcomed by connoisseurs that they said, well, we have to add the 10-year-old to the new Classic Malt of Scotland series, add 2 years more. But the 8-year-old would be, or was definitely a good one in this Ascot Malt Cellar collection. I think they stopped in 1989, when the Classic Malt of Scotland started. Around that date, I'm not quite sure. Smoke. Strong smoke, as in most of these bottles. Definitely younger. And a lot of fruit. Port wine. So my personal prey, bottle as a prey, is slightly smoky, aged and intense malt whiskey, matured in port wine casks. This is one of my typical bottles I'm looking for, and the Talisker from the sherry, the Amoroso sherry cask, is one of my favorites, if not the favorite whiskeys. The favorite whiskey I have among all those malts I tasted already. And this one is very close to my typical whiskey I'm looking for, but it's a little bit young. So there's complexity missing. You have this fruitiness, you have the smoke, you have the intense strength of the Talisker, the maritime note, and that's it. Well, it's more than a lot of other single malt whiskies have, but a long maturation period, some complexity would be better. Good. Mouth-watering. You have the intensity, the sweetness of the port, the fruitiness of the port, still mouth-watering. The chili catcher, the pepperiness of the Talisker Distillery itself, of the stills. Wood smoke. No medicinal note, no, it's wood smoke. And the cask is already appearing. Port wine cask. Some cedar, mint. You can have this whiskey longer on your tongue than the others, which appear quite sharp on the tongue. So this is smoother, weaker by the port wine, sweeter, but there's still the youngness. In the moment it appears the youngness, this very light metallic note in the back. Sorry. If this youngness would be missing, close to a perfect dram, for this money, it's less than 40 euros. Good price. Thank you for watching Whisky.com. There's more to come, still some to go. Stay tuned and feel free to share this video with your friends. And if you have your own tasting notes about the Talisker whiskies, please add them in our whisky database.